The names of all 50 states and their capitals.
Okay. Here goes. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
People in Louisiana must know that all across our country there's a lot of prayer. Prayer for those whose lives have been turned upside down. And I'm one of them.
Indianapolis, Indiana.
I said on Friday, you know, this thought took a while to thaw, it's going to take a while to unthaw.
And Columbus is the capital of Ohio.
We got an issue in America. Too many good docs are getting out of business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
There's Montgomery, Alabama.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
South of Helena, Montana.
It was not always a given that the United States and America would have a close relationship. After all, 60 years we were at war.
Then there's Denver, Colorado.
The Prime Minister of India?
The new Prime Minister of India is, no.
Under Boise, Idaho.
If you're a single mother with 2 children, which is the toughest job in America as far as I'm concerned, and you're working hard to put food on your family.
Texas has Austin. Then we go north to Massachusetts, Boston, and Albany, New York, Tallahassee, Florida.
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
And Washington, D.C., Santa Fe, New Mexico. In Nashville, Tennessee.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Elvis used to hang out there a lot, you know. Trenton's in New Jersey, north of Jefferson, Missouri.
These are big achievements for this country, and the people of Bulgaria ought to be proud of the achievements that they have achieved.
You got Richmond in Virginia.
And one of the things that I've used on the Google is to pull up maps.
South Dakota has Pierre.
Last night, Jeb and I had some crabs with like members of the 1972 Miami Dolphins, Dan Marino and his really dynamic wife, TV stars, Andy Garcia.
Harrisburg's in Pennsylvania and Augusta's up in Maine. And here is Providence, Rhode Island, next to Dover, Delaware. Concord, New Hampshire, just a quick jaunt to Montpelier, which is up in Vermont. Hartford's in Connecticut, so pretty in the fall. And Kansas has Topeka.
God bless America.
Thank you, Rolling. That's awesome speech.
Minnesota has St. Paul.
These immigrants have helped transform 13 small colonies into a great and growing nation of more than 300 people.
Juneau's in Alaska.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
And there's Lincoln in the...
I remember meeting a mother of a child who was abducted by the North Koreans right here in the Oval Office.
And it's Raleigh out in North Carolina.
Just seems like I was here yesterday. I was.
And then there's Madison, Wisconsin.
Now, there may be some tough times here in America, but this country's gone through tough times before, and we're going to do it again.
And then Olympia in Washington, Phoenix, Arizona. And Lansing, Michigan, here's Honolulu, Hawaii's a joy, Jackson, Mississippi.
But here's a dreamer. Man had an idea. He didn't like the way the cotton shirts that he wore absorbed, his bodily fluids when he exercised, so he came up with a better product.
In Springfield, Illinois, South Carolina with Columbia down the way.
And so, in my speech to the nation, whatever you want to call it, speech of the nation. I asked Americans to give 4,000 hours over the rest of your life.
And Annapolis and Maryland on Chesapeake Bay, they have wonderful clam chowder. Cheyenne is in Wyoming. And perhaps you make your home in Salt Lake City out in Utah where the buffalo roam.
The good news is, and it's hard for some to see it now, that out of this chaos is going to come a fantastic Gulf Coast, like it was before. Out of the rubbles of Trent Lott's house, his had lost his entire house, there's going to be a fantastic house.
Atlanta's down in Georgia.
A fine host for the OPEC summit. I appreciate APEC summits, you know.
And there's Bismarck, North Dakota.
The fact that they purchased the machine meant somebody had to make the machine. And so when somebody makes a machine, it means there's jobs at the machine-making place.
And you can live in Frankfurt in your old Kentucky home.
Teach a child to read, and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test.
Salem in Oregon, from there we join Little Rock in Arkansas.
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
I always got them on.
Those who think that they can say we're only going to have a stimulus package, but let's forget tax relief, underestimate. Just making sure you were paying attention. You were.
In Sacramento, California, Oklahoma, and its city.
The responses have got to end in order for us to get the framework, the groundwork to discuss a framework for peace, to lay that. All right.
Charleston, West Virginia.
Who could have possibly envisioned an election in Iraq at this point in history?
And Nevada, Carson City.
Most of the new jobs in America are created by the small business sector, and our entrepreneurs are doing well. We got the best workforce in America.
That's all the capitals there are. Huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You failed to put your response in the form of a question.